Yes, I married a wife 30 years ago now, and I just want to say it's all give and take. I give, she takes. But I love my wife dearly. But there's problems. I mean, what do I buy her for a birthday or Christmas? One time I asked her because I couldn't think of what to do. And I said, what do you want for Christmas, love? And she said, I don't need anything. I've got everything I want. So I didn't buy her anything. And she sulked for 2 weeks after that. So now I ring up her two sisters and ask them, what does Rosarie want for Christmas, do you think, Valerie or Tricia? And they say, get her some Vera Wang. Vera Wang? Yes, and she likes Vera Wang. So off I went to Brown Thomas in town, and he opened the door, and I'd never been in before, and there was all these women with dyed blonde hair and all these scents coming at you. And I looked across the counter, and these women, they were going like this, and I thought they were practicing their piano, but they were drying the nails. Anyway, I asked the girl, do you have Vera Wang here? And she said, oh, she's just gone to the toilet. I says, no, I mean the perfume stuff. She said, oh yeah, come along and I'll show you. And she showed me all these Vera Wang bottles, little tiny ones like that, and big long thin ones like that, and big fat ones. And I says, what's them for? And she said, that's a moisturiser, that's an eyelash enhancer, that's for your toenails, and that's for your suntan. And she went on like that, and I didn't know what to say or do. So she saw that I was nonplussed, and she said, I'll make you a package up. And before I know what was happening, she had all these Vera Wang things together, and she said, it's only €210. €210. Well, I had to get them. I didn't have much choice. Yeah, I love my wife dearly. Each year she becomes more dear and more dear. Sometimes I lie awake at night and I say my marriage vows, and it sort of goes like this: for richer, for poorer, 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 and in sickness and in health. Now that's another thing. My wife is really good and she looks after me. And if there's anything wrong with me, she spots it straight away. If I make little mistakes and forget to empty the dishwasher, forget to vacuum clean under the bed and things like that, she comes straight out with it. She knows straight away. You've got Alzheimer's. Yeah. And you know something? She saves a huge amount on doctor's bills. Yeah. I mean, the diagnosis, she's able to diagnose things straight away. Your Alzheimer's is getting worse. But there's one thing about my wife. She knows so much. You know, I said God knows everything. Well, my wife's like that. She knows it all. Yeah. She comes in at 6 every night, and I always have a cup of tea ready for her. And I tell her my news. I said, Mrs. O'Leary's daughter's had twins. She said, yes, I know. I said, there's a tsunami going to hit the coast of Kerry tomorrow at 5 minutes past 3. She said, yes, I know. And she says, the Irish government has just asked for another 10 billion. I said, the Irish government just asked for another 10 billion from the IMF. Said, yes, I know. Now it's okay for a little bit, but then it goes on after 10 years, 20 years. Ooh. Well, a man's got to be a man, stand up, and as Robbie Burns said, a man's a man for all that. So anyway, I could only put up with so much of it, so I made a plan, and this is my plan. I ran down to Fota Wildlife Park Estate, and I said to my friend John there, John, do you have any frisky kangaroos down there I could borrow? And there was a little pause on the phone. And he said, as a matter of fact, Tony, I do have a frisky kangaroo. And I says, can I borrow it just for one day? He says, if you want to. So I got 2 or 3 fellas and we went down to Fota Wildlife Park, and we had this big van. So we got this frisky kangaroo. It was jumping around like that, and we put him in the van and we drove him up the Dublin road to where I live. And there was all this banging and crashing. I said, gee, this is going to be hard. So eventually we got it to where I live, and we had to sedate it. So we sedated the kangaroo and we put it in the bathroom. That was my plan. And there it was, sleeping away, happy enough. Anyway, the wife came in at 6 o'clock. I had the tea ready for her, and we started again. Do you know Mr. Saunders has slipped on the ice and had to have his leg mended in the hospital? He says, yes, I know. I said, do you know the stock exchange went up 2.56% to a new Irish record? He said, yes, I know. And it went on like that. And suddenly there was this banging and crashing in the bathroom. And she said, what's that? What's that? I said, I don't know, love. And she went in the bathroom. And I heard this big scream, oh, and she come rushing in, Tony, there's a kangaroo leaping and jumping all around the bathroom. And I looked her in the face and I said, yes, I know. And it was very quiet after that, and she didn't know all that much after that. But you can ask me, have I always been faithful to my wife? You can ask me, and I'll give you the answer. The answer is, I don't quite know. And it's like this. A long time ago, about 20 years ago, I used to belong to this thing called Freemasons, who were a bit odd. They have rituals and funny handshakes. But I used to go down, just mixing with the lads. And after that, we'd go down to this bar, the Enterprise Bar, and we'd have a few drinks. Anyway, this night we had a few drinks, and a few more. And I didn't know where I was. And then we went to a nightclub. And to this day, I don't quite know what happened in that nightclub. But anyhow, I managed to get back home safely somehow. There was no drink driving laws then. I parked the car outside and I went to bed. I had a bit of a hangover. And we only had one car in those days. Anyway, the wife got up early to go to work. And I was snoring under the blankets. And she went down the path. And suddenly she rushed back up the path. And she came into the bedroom, and I was sort of half asleep. She said, Tony? I said, yes, darling. I found a pair of tights in the car. I says, oh my God. I didn't say it out loud, just said it under the blanket. And I looked into her face, and she had one eye flashing anger, and the other eye was a little tearing it. And I was stuck for a minute, and then I said, oh, yes, dear. That's a new ritual we're doing in the lodge, where every man in the Freemasons has to have a pair of tights for the ritual. And you know, she's a good woman. She trusted me. And you just imagine all the Freemasons in Ireland dancing around in women's tights. I don't know, the mind boggles. But anyway, she went away and she was satisfied. And every lodge meeting since then, when I'm going out, she gets these women's tights and she irons them and puts them in my little sack with me regalia. So I don't know to this day whether I was faithful or not, but she still loves me. It's all giving and taking, like I said. But if you took a wife, or if you married a wife, I wish you well. It's not easy, but again it is easy. So, wherever you tread, wherever you do, good luck to you. Thank you.